Hi, hello, my name is Gabiio, and today we are talking about Cemetery Boys. So, this year I tried, one of the things I wanted to really focus on this year is read more because I'm writing, and I tried to get a lot of inspiration, and this one was specifically recommended to me a lot through booktok, which is always hit or miss, but this book was really good, and I'm going to talk about it. But before, a little disclaimer, in this video I will be referring to these characters as being Latinx. I'm aware the conversation and discourse online on that specific name for that group of people, and since I'm not from Latin America, I have no reason to participate in the discussion. Give my opinion, it's not me. I'm not interested in that. I don't even have an opinion. I'm just trying to listen. But considering the author, Aiden Thomas, is Latin American and uses Latinx for these characters, I will do the same for this specific story. So, Cemetery Boys was really interesting. Here's a rundown. So, the main character is Yadriel. He lives in California with his family of Brujex, witches. So, Yadriel is a Brujo because he's a trans boy. So, he is a Brujo. And there's a difference in this world between Brujo, which are the men, and Bruja, which are the women. So, Brujas are more oriented toward healing, towards, matronly stuff, which is critiqued in the book because it's why is it so gendered like that? It's a little weird. But that's what Brujas are. And since he's a trans boy, he is a Brujo, but he has difficulty being accepted as one. A lot of people still see him as a Bruja or as someone who cannot have powers because obviously since he's a Brujo, he cannot get the Bruja blessing. So he doesn't have any powers, but then he tries his very best to get his own powers, which works. He gets his own set of Brujo powers, which is never seen before. As a Brujo, he can, in this world, bring back the dead and ghosts and help them move over to the next life, because this family is very, in their culture, it is very normal for them to not fear death as much as, accept it as a part of life, and every cycle, every year, towards La Dia de las Muertes, so on November 1st, they can have a certain amount of time where they can be back with their families, the families of the Brujex. Every year, they bring back all of their family and they can have a big dinner and see the ghosts, talk again and let them know and see them. So that's the very interesting basis. But Yadriel is a Brujo. But since people still see him as a Bruja, he needs to work really hard to get accepted. And he wants to prove himself capable of being a Brujo. So he tries bringing back the dead. And he brings the wrong ghost. He's trying to bring back his uncle who disappeared very mysteriously that same night. And everybody's looking for him except for him because he's not allowed with the Brujos. So he's trying his best to do it himself. And instead, he brings back a random boy named Julian who doesn't even know he's dead. He doesn't know what happened. He doesn't know what's going on. So then the book goes over Yadriel and Julian's friendship, and they're trying to solve Julian's murder with the help of Maritza, which is Yadriel's best friend, and she is a Bruja, but she doesn't want to use blood because to heal people you need to use animal blood, specifically chicken blood if I'm not mistaken, and she's vegan. She doesn't like this. She doesn't use it, but she's really cool. She is badass. I really liked Maritza. So yeah, so the whole story is them trying to figure out what happened to Julian to save him. And it is very touching. It is very sweet. Of course, it is called Cemetery Boys because there is a romance plot going on. And yeah, I really liked it. That's the main rundown without anything else. That's the plot. I recommend you go read it. It is really good. It has really good representation. It has a really interesting plot. If you appreciate romance in any way, it's a fun romance. Once again, I'm promoting romance on this channel apparently. But I really recommend it. It's a very fun POV. I really liked the writing style. I think it was the fastest book I've read this year because it was just very enthralled in it and read it really fast because it was so good. So yeah, go read it. And now I'm gonna go over to the more spoilery part. So I really like the plot. I'm gonna talk first about the progression between Yadriel and Julian. It felt really good. It felt really organic and fun is not the word, but it felt very normal and great. Yadriel having a crush on Julian from the moment they meet, but slowly melting for the ghost before it became reciprocal. And even though they both know that this cannot be a long-term thing, because Julian is supposed to go, he's supposed to die for real, and they still cannot help themselves. I really like Julian specifically through this relationship was really, really good, because Julian never questioned him, never asked question. He is gay and accepts him, and he's just like, the moment he learns that Yadriel is trans and a man and uses he, him, he is fully accepting, fully ready to go, fully ready to defend him towards his family. He is a very, like, charming character, like a character that you can feel his charisma through the pages, which is not really easy to do, to like feel a character that has so much charisma and like in universe, but also it like reads through the pages, is really, really interesting, and it was a really, really good character. One scene about him that I really, really appreciated was when he opened Yadriel's yearbook, and in the yearbook there's Yadriel's dead name because the school didn't want to change it. While Yadriel is away, Julian crossed out the dead name and wrote Yadriel under it, which I thought was really cute. On that same vein, I really liked how Yadriel's struggles seem very personal and clearly very influenced by Aiden Thomas, the author's actual life experience. Like, you could read through it to see how, like, personal the story felt, probably, to Aiden Thomas, which obviously I loved. It was really, really interesting to just, like, see something so personal, so raw, so vivid, and I really, really liked the story. I really liked to see the trans experience. In first place, it was really interesting to see, like, the POV of a trans person, because, of course, like, as allies, you can always, like, see yourself defend them. You can always see your friends and the people that you know that are trans, and you can defend them, and you understand them, right? But also, like, to see it from a first character POV, where you are engrossed in the story, always makes your point of view change a little, like, positively. It's just, like, it's always fun to read characters that are different from you. It's always interesting to see different perspective. Like, it's like the third book I think I've read with a trans POV character, and every time it's slightly different, and it's always interesting to get all of those content and see how personal all of these transition, how everyone has a very different and very valid and very interesting experience. And it's really, really good. I really, really like the representation. Like, we mentioned it a lot, but the representation was really good. I know a lot of people right now have, like, this kind of thing that, like, oh, you can't just recommend a book on representation, which I understand. I understand how tokenizing it might feel, but sometimes it's really interesting to just, like, please read this book because of the great representation, because it is a valid way of promoting books. The representation was really, really interesting, having a cast consisting almost entirely of Latinx teens, the main character being a trans gay boy. It was really, really fun, really refreshing. The fact that this won, like, Book of the Year prizes in 2020 is not surprising, because it's really good, but it's like, maybe we're getting better with book publishing, I guess. It was so lovable. The magic system was complex and fun, and I really liked how it was definitely based loosely on, like, real beliefs, and it was really fun ride. It was really fun to see it being described with such love for the culture, I guess. It was really, really good. And yeah, I really loved the characters in the book, mainly the main three, Yadriel, Julian, and Maritza. They were really well fleshed out and really fun to read, and all of it. I really liked the plot twist at the end, that it was the uncle. Like, I saw it coming. I knew the uncle was shady. I knew it, but it's not in a way that it's, like, poorly. It's not like a bad plot twist. It's just really well foreshadowed, I guess. And the end scene was really good with Santa Muerte. And then Yadriel sacrificing himself from Julian was very strong, obviously. And then both of them, like, surviving. I cried at the hospital scene. It was really sweet, really cool. I love how they care so much for each other, and I'm glad they're both alive and can both fall in love again. Yeah, I really, really, really liked this book. It was really, really good, and I really liked the plot. I liked it all. It was a really, really good book. I give it 9.5 out of 10. Here to the montage. So, I'm trying this again. I'm going to try to talk over the montage. So, this piece had highs and lows. I really, really like Santa Muerte. She was really fun to do. I had a lot of fun doing, like, drawing her. I really liked the skull shading. I think it's, like, I slayed. On the other hand, I'm not that big of a fan of the other two. I think they're great. I really like the shading. I really like what I've done. I just think that there's something about the pose. I was trying something new. I don't usually draw people from the profile because it's really hard. So I usually don't do it. And I was trying to, like, force myself to, like, try it out. And at the end of the day, it's not as good as I wish it was, but I'm still pretty proud of it. Obviously, I'm putting it out there. I kind of liked it. So here's the big picture. So thanks a lot for coming around. I'm trying to make this one short again because I'm trying to push out videos. It was really fun. I really like it. It's the second one in my Pride month, I guess. It's still another queer romance. We love to see it. Thanks a lot for coming around. Here, all my social medias are going to be under this. And next time, you might have a surprise. It might not be a short, positive review. See you soon.